Welcome, I'm Judy Shaw. I'm here with my colleague Matt Kobach, and we are here for another segment of Movers, Shakers, and Icebreakers. Now, if you notice, we're in a different location. We are not on the floor of the New York Stock Exchange, but instead we are at the Big Board Gallery. And Matt's got a little bit he wants to tell us about where we are.
You might have noticed, you might think of the New York Stock Exchange, you only think of the floor. We're actually right above the floor. We have tons of rooms, we have tons of hallways, and in those hallways, we have a lot of artifacts, a lot of kind of old stuff that has been collected through a 226-year history. But recently, we've got an art installation with these two guys right here.
Yes,
You'll
we
see,
do.
we're gonna go check it out. We got this hallway. You can see one piece right here, but we're gonna go see the rest of them. And we're gonna talk to these guys about their art, what brought them here, and what really inspires them.
So who are these guys? We are here with artists King Saladeen and JohnBorn. Thanks for joining us, guys.
No, thank you.
Thank you for having us.
So your artwork is actually hanging here in the Big Board Gallery, but we want to know a little bit about you. So King Saladeen, you were a basketball prospect in high school,
Right.
and then you had an injury,
Yeah.
and then you turned to art. How did you go from playing basketball to becoming an artist?
Well, art was always my first love, but being in the environment that I'm from, basketball was like more the norm. So when I would talk to people about art, it would kind of be like, what? But then when I talked about people about going to the park and playing basketball, it was just like, come on, it's 10 of us. So that was more of the thing that I thought was just something to do, and it was, everybody took on to it. So I said, if everybody does this, then I guess I'm supposed to be doing this. But over time, and me getting injured, and grades not being as best as they should have been, I didn't go Division I. So when that kind of happened, it deterred me back to like what I really, really, really loved, that didn't have any politics involved and things like that, and it was just doing my art.
Was that a blessing in disguise?
It was totally a blessing to the sky, because everybody's 6'2" and 6'3", can shoot a jump shot, can dunk, can dribble, but not everybody had the vision or just the creative insight that I had on just all kinds of things, clothes, music, art, like all that stuff made my art. So it was definitely a blessing in disguise.
All right. John, you started art at a very young age. I hear toddler level age, is that right?
This is true.
Toddler.
So tell us about that. What'd you do? How did you get your first start? How does a 3-year-old get his first start?
Well, it was really just, it started with my mom taking me to this festival called the Capona, where I'm from in Harrisburg, Pennsylvania. It's like along the river, they set up all type of tents, and they vend food. There's a lot of artists, they're selling art. It's just like a big festival. So they had one station where you can kind of come pick from an array of blank sculptures, and they supplied all the supplies. As long as you bought the sculpture, they give you everything you needed painted it. So I remember she took me there, and I picked out a King Tut, and this is where it started. I painted it gold, all the colors, and a lot of people used to just come crowd around and start purchasing this same sculpture that I would paint. So we would go every year until I was about 10 or 11. And that's when it changed into fashion, because, you get a little older, preteens, you start wanting to dress better, get girls and things like that. So I was,
By the way, you look really sharp. We'll get a chance. We're going to go check out some of the art. We're also going to check out these shoes right here.
Thank you.
So you weren't always painting on canvas. You then branched out into other things, and that was the same for you.
Yeah, canvas didn't come to a lot later, actually.
Oh, okay.
Until I was actually an adult. I had never painted canvas, coming up as a kid or a teen or anything like that. I hadn't painted canvas till I was about 22.
22.
Yeah, because I was always painting clothes or fashion or just some type of object that had nothing to do with canvas.
And how about you? So you weren't always painting on canvas?
Same thing. It came from us being, because we're from the same environment. He's from Harrisburg, I'm from West Philly. So pretty much I've been to Harrisburg and I've been to the hoods of Harrisburg. It's kind of the same thing. So in that element, people aren't purchasing canvases. You don't see people's houses decored up to the par. Right. So people rather spend money on a dope t-shirt, dope sneakers, dope hat than something for their house. So that's where it came from. So it wasn't even an option to do canvases unless you was brought up through arts in school, So that's where my take is on the clothes and just things that aren't canvas.
That's very interesting. Okay, so let's talk about your big break. What was your big break?
Big break.
Other than this interview right now, what was your big break?
Like I said, we're sitting in the break. Like, I don't know.
Okay, I won't argue.
What was the first moment where you felt successful? You felt like this is I'm doing something right and I'm getting the response that people tell me it's right.
Well, I guess I would say when I first started to notice that my art was going to take off, and I really felt like it. I used to basically reach out to a lot of celebrities that I looked up to or that inspired me in previous times to kind of gift them with something or kind of get into their vibe in order to thank them. And I feel like I made it when I met with this artist named The Game, and I was trying to gift him some artwork, and his response was he was just questioning why would I give him something that I spent. He watched me spend all this time on it. I left tour. I went to his house. I spent about 3 or 4 days working on the piece for him, and then I tried to gift it to him, and his response was, "No way am I taking this from you for free. I just won a game of Madden for 10K. Here, we gonna split this, and we gonna do some more tomorrow." And that's when I really felt like, okay, somebody appreciates what I'm doing. It's not just me, trying to get it to someone. This is like it solidified my place. That's where I felt like.
Yeah. How about you?
Oh, that's intense Madden, by the way. That is really intense Madden.
It goes down. Believe me. This is a hard one for me because I've done work with different companies that I thought might have been my break, but like the real break I think was me just leaving my job. 2011, July 4th. It was something inside of me that was just like, it's either I'm gonna get old, have kids, and then be mad and referring back to what I could have did, or just walk on a leap of faith. You know what I'm saying? And that was, I think, my break, because that honestly gave me the ideas and the tools and the time to like really see what was going on in my head. Like not like a 15-minute spurt of like dopeness, you know what I'm saying? Like all day I can like endeavor and
So that's when you truly focused on your art.
Yeah, because before that I was doing basketball, I did real estate before, I was just working a job, I was just trying to like, get out of my mom's house, mentally, like really get out of my mom's house and get everything back going. So my biggest risk turned into my biggest reward at the end of the day. So it had to be when I left my job.
All right, let's talk inspiration, but I feel like you guys on TV or watching us, you've seen us enough. I want to show you some of the art. You guys are gonna walk with us here, and I want to go to this first piece here. Now, King Saladeen, this is your piece.
Yes.
Tell us about it. What do you got here? What was your inspiration from it?
Well, my inspiration behind this piece was that I already had the Balu Soha at the beginning of the hallway. I did the bull of the market. And do you want me to hold this?
Oh, no.
Okay.
Sorry. Yeah, I'm just giving them a good angle.
Okay. So I did 2 different styles of my art at the beginning of the hallway. So the end of the hallway, I said, you know what? This is a very dope occasion. Let me put a suit on this guy. Not just a suit, a Tom Ford suit. So, this represents the New York Stock Exchange to me when I walk in, and it's just off a straight visual. So this was the last piece that I did for here. And I think it fit pretty good.
Can I ask a question? How about, so we're looking at a bear. Now, we're here at the New York Stock Exchange. We like bull markets opposed to bear markets, but why the bear?
Well, actually, the bear is my logo, so I didn't just go about and say, I want to go be defiant. You know what I'm saying? So I think my logo and just everything that I've been doing just adds on to the balance of the stock market, because you got to have a bull market and a bear market to even have a market. You know what I mean? So,
okay.
And he's beat up a little. He's not doing so good.
He's beat up a little.
He's in business, it's a beat up situation.
And I like it. This is called, he's called CEO?
This is the CEO bear.
CEO bear, okay.
Cool.
Maybe
let's keep going.
CEO bull.
And right here, you can see some behind the scenes. We're catching that right now. Yeah.
Okay, so the next collection that we're looking at is for John. This is John's. John, tell us what we're looking at here.
We're looking at bullishness. Very playful, very colorful. I was doing some research about the stock exchange, and as you guys know, bear bull. I chose the bull, of course, and it was.
We like that. Not that we don't like bears, but a little partial to bulls.
No, that balance, that's a good thing.
You're right.
What I tried to do was, it's the 6th floor. I made 6 pieces, and what I did was I put them in the shape of a bull.
Yes.
So if you can see, like, kind of the silhouette of the pieces kind of make,
That's
snout,
right.
horns, head. And I just wanted to go.
That's like art inception.
Exactly.
It's like art of art. I love it.
Indeed. But it was real fun working on, and just a little bit out of my element, but I wanted to go more basic so I can kind of catch everybody with the pop art style. So I really had a lot of fun doing it.
Oh,
we got
and
to
there
see
are
these
those.
shoes, right?